What's up, everybody? Jack here, and this is the beginning of the weekly mastermind group. We meet every Sunday at 11:30 Cali time. This is... what time is that Eastern? 11:30. Okay, Google, what time is it in New York right now?
The time in New York,
2:30.
USA is 2:34 p.m.
Okay, so it's 2:30 Eastern time, 11:30 Cali
Sorry.
time, and 1:30 my time. That's always confusing. But that's the time that we meet, and it's flexible, so as people join, if that needs to change to meet the needs of the majority of the people participating, that's great. There was a person I had a call with recently who did a YouTube channel about tarot and was creating a Udemy course, and they talked about joining. Not sure if they will, because a lot of people talk about things and don't follow through, you know. But it would be really cool if they did. I was thinking about group size, and I think like 3 or 4 other people is good. I don't want a whole bunch of people because it becomes hard to give everyone like individual attention and give everyone time to speak and get to know them and stuff. But at the same time, more than 2 I think is ideal. But I don't know. What do you think, Rita? Oh yeah, you're in a car and doing stuff.
I'm here. I'm going to have to go back in and get a fork in a second because I didn't get a fork. I don't know. It's just always, you can't get too in love with something because then it changes. So, I'll just try to roll with the changes. I'm already I don't really care for this time very much. It's okay, but I love the earlier morning. But whatever, we just got to try to make it work for everybody.
Yeah, this is usually my nap time.
This is your nap time?
Yeah, pretty much. Because for me, it's almost 2. So usually if I'm going to take a nap, it's between like 1 and 3.
Yeah.
Or not like 1, 2, 3, but like I will have a nap in that window. I actually haven't been sleeping very much recently. Or I haven't been napping very much. I slept a whole bunch yesterday. I slept for like 12 hours. I'm still recovering from that. I can feel the melatonin coursing through my body.
All right, well, I'm going to mute myself for a minute while I go get a fork. Sorry.
No worries, you're good.
All right.
I will pull up the chat, see if anyone is saying anything in the live chat, and I actually have documentation for us to work on. So every week, guys, we take a Skillshare course, and this week we took a course all about personal branding. And conveniently, this course had a worksheet of an exercise. So we're going to do that worksheet. Well, okay, I'm going to ask the others questions, and I'm going to fill this up, and then we can look at it again in like 6 months or a year or whenever, if we're still talking, and see how things have changed. It'd be interesting, right? All right, looking at the live chat now. Sorry. YouTube. Muhammad El Masoudi says, good evening, Jack. Hope you're doing great. I'm doing awesome. Good to see you. Thanks for joining. Give Bray some more time here. This is the time I said, right? I think. 11:30. 11:30. Okay, yeah, he confirmed. Cool. Oh, I had a skating accident, and I like hit my head. It was crazy. I was bleeding a bunch, even though it's a really tiny cut. It's like this big.
Head injuries always do that.
Yeah. At first, I pulled my hand out, and there was blood all over it, and I was like, oh my god, what happened? I feel fine. But I was fine. It was just, yeah. It bled a lot for like 30 seconds, and then it stopped, and it was fine.
Glad you're okay. Obviously, you don't wear a helmet, right?
No. Although, I will say that I am quite a cautious skater compared to a lot of people I've met. Like, I just kind of
Oh.
skate in the street and practice ollieing. I don't really do anything too ridiculous. I don't like going very fast. That being said, I know people who've broken their bones just doing exactly what I just said, so. I have yet to break a single bone in my body in my life.
Very good. Very good.
Or maybe I
I've
just
only
don't get
had-
out much.
I had a couple of foot bones break. When I was in my 30s, I just stepped off, rolled my ankle or whatever, and broke 2 bones. Oof. That was fun. My
Wait,
kids were
and
still little, and I was
off of
living in
a-
an
You
upstairs
fell off
apartment.
of a vehicle? What happened? You slipped?
I was walking to the grocery store, and I just rolled my ankle.
Oh.
Just clumsy, I guess you could say. I had a clumsy moment, and and your ankle goes on, your foot goes to the side, and you step up with all that pressure on it.
That sounds painful.
Huh? Yeah, it was. But the firemen that came were cute.
That helps. I have a really fancy stereotypical British uncle who as a child I always imagined him wearing a top hat, putting his little pinky out and lecturing me about how I'm eating wrong. That was my perception of this uncle when I was a young child. Very posh, very influential, strong British accent, very classy. At one point he was opening the door and holding it open for someone, and he slipped and his foot got stuck in between the door and the step. It was like one of those 3 steps up to the door, and the rest of him fell and his foot completely 180.
Ooh.
Holding the door open for someone. So he managed to break his foot, literally break it, holding the door open for a lady.
Correct.
That's
No good deed goes unpunished.
That's pure chivalry right there. What a sacrifice. I hope that lady felt lucky.
I hope so too. Well, I hope Ray comes on because I got questions.
I think we can start. I actually just made a copy of one of the worksheets in the course, and I figured I could ask you guys some questions, and we could just fill it in as part of us talking about what we thought about the course. But if you want to start off with those questions, or unless they're pertinent exactly to Bray, we should probably just go, and then he'll join at some point.
Yeah, let's just go. So what do you want to do? Oh, the questions. Most of the questions are for him.
Oh, okay.
Questions, although
Okay, gotcha.
Have something for you. Yeah.
Well, then you and me can work on this worksheet until he joins.
Oh. Okay.
And I will explain it to you. You can just answer questions I'm asking you, and we can fill the worksheet out together even though you're not looking at it. So this is, there's 5 questions. One is 3 past successes, 3 of your most fulfilling contributions, a goal for 1 year, a goal for 5 years, and a goal for 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Yay! I hate this shit, but let's do it.
Me too, but I like spoon feeding it to me because I'd never do it on my own.
Yeah, me neither. That's why I like this group.
Successes. Let's see. Well, I got an appraisal license, which was considered kind of a hard thing to do. That's a real estate appraiser. I did well with that, and then let's see. I was successful in school when I was in choir. I was a good singer.
Raised a family.
And
that's just intense.
Yes, I think that should be my number 3. Yeah. Daughters that have grown up and they are productive and kind. So, yeah. Thank you for that help. That's a good one.
So what are they again? Say them to me.
What?
Say them again. The first one is?
Choir, success in choir in high school. Is that what you're asking me?
Yeah. How do I spell choir?
Okay,
Choir.
Choir.
Oh, I did QU. Choir. Core. Choir.
Yeah.
Okay.
Choir. Probably French. I got my real estate appraisal license.
Okay. Real estate appraisal license and
Raised 2 daughters.
raised 2 daughters. Nice. Sweet. I guess I should think of 3 things. Let's see. If I think of them, I guess you have to pick 3 past successes that like you're most proud of, or the most influential successes. Like, how do we define these? What do you think?
I don't know.
First 3 that comes to mind.
Maybe it's different. Maybe it's different for every person. I think sort of whatever pops into your mind. Because that appraisal thing for some was just, I thought I just got, that popped right into my mind first thing.
Interesting. Okay. Making YouTube videos every day. I don't do it anymore, but that completely changed my life. Videos every day. Because I did that for like almost 2 years. That was a thing. Moving back to Nicaragua. That was a good decision. What else? Oh, publishing the Udemy course. That changed my life completely and is what I still live off of to this day. That was important.
Great.
But that was these are all really recent. Did I do anything I consider a success before that? I thought I was successful getting into college because I got kicked out of high school. But then I dropped out of college and it didn't matter. Like, all of the things before that are things that I thought mattered, but then when I acquired them or accomplished them, it didn't end up actually changing my life in any way, and something else ended up happening. Like, I had a job, and one of the things they said is, oh, we can't give you a raise because you don't have a car. And then I got a car, and then they were like, okay, we're sorry, we were wrong. Your time's too valuable for us to have you going out using your car. It's actually irrelevant. So it didn't even matter. And that was a recurring theme until I got into the self-employment world. Then the changes actually started mattering.
Boy, I really relate to that. The false starts. I've had a bunch of those.
Brace here. I didn't get a ding-dong noise. What? That was weird.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what's going on, what y'all was talking about.
Yeah, so I made a document that's basically a copy of one of the worksheets that was in the course. So we're just filling that out. And it's your turn! We are on the list 3 past successes. So I have to write 3 past successes for Bray.
Okay. Well, I guess my welding certification will go be one.
Welding certification. Okay.
Does having kids count as success?
Yeah, it's just whatever
you
feel is a success.
All right, yeah, having kids, 3 kids, beautiful kids.
Having children. Why did I not realize you had children?
I don't know.
Did this never come up before?
It definitely did when I first started joining on, but I haven't talked much about it since then.
More people who I meet that are interested in the self-employment stuff have kids than don't. I think it's kind of because having kids makes you actually motivated. You have to be. Whereas if you don't have kids, it's like maybe you're motivated, but that's pretty rare. Usually people are motivated because they're forced to be for some reason, right? I don't know. But that's one of the 2 surprises that I've learned over the past 2 years is, one, most of the people interested in earning money online and self-employment are interested because they want to retire, not because they want to do it as like their career choice as a young person. Also, a lot of people interested in this have children. These are things that I find surprising.
And that we're doing it more than just us. It's not so much of a selfish thing now. It's like, oh, we're not only filling ourselves, but now we're making our future for our kids even look that much less promising
Yeah.
in our head. Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I like the flexibility. I used to work with nurses, and they weren't self-employed, but they had the job where they could kind of disappear and nobody knew where they were. And sometimes they were at home with their kids. And I really want a job like that where I run my own schedule.
And you have time.
You know. Yeah, I have time to be with the kids. I did not achieve that while my kids were young, unfortunately. But
few
here
people
we
do.
are.
Okay, so Bray, what's your third one?
Let me think about this one. Let's see. Third accomplishment. Because graduating in high school wasn't really nothing.
I didn't graduate high school.
Exactly. It wasn't really nothing, man.
No, I'm saying you accomplished that. I didn't. I don't have that. I have a GED.
What about your courses that you've made, Bray?
Yeah. I'll go ahead and being being someone that teaches online. That's definitely changing my life right now.
Making, like, which do you think is more of a success for you, YouTube or courses?
Courses.
Courses?
Yeah.
Courses.
That's what brings in the money, huh?
Yeah, and it was the most surprising too. I didn't think that it would build up to something like this, and now I just finally got my course going on Udemy, and now I got 11 enrolled students on that. So now I'm like, all
Hey,
right, trying to get some
nice.
feedback. I need some feedback.
Wow.
Dude, I think that's
Yeah.
more than my Nicaragua course.
That's great.
Good job.
Yes, I'm loving it. I did the free coupon thing, and I just went on Facebook groups, and I posted in there. There's a lot of Facebook groups where you can post in there just to get free signups, and
Starting point.
did that. And I got 10 from that, and then I got somebody random the other day. So
Like a paid person? One paid
yeah,
person?
one
Hey, that's
paper.
dope. I always think
Good.
if you get 1 or 2 paid people in your first month, yeah.
You're on track on something. Okay, good.
All right, so now we're on column number 2, which is list 3 of your most fulfilling contributions. Out of curiosity, did either of you do this?
No, I don't even remember. Like, I remember her telling us to write stuff down and really think about.
So
I don't even
no.
remember these questions. That's kind of
The answer
funny.
is no, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And what about you, Rita?
Oh, these questions are from Jack's course, Bray.
No, these are literally from the course we all took. I copied them.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So what did you say? Fulfilling contributions?
Yeah, fulfilling contributions.
Oh, okay. My daughters definitely have brought me a lot of fulfillment and continue to. My relationship with them very fulfilling, very fulfilling. And then I would say
oh no, that's Bray.
my friendships that I've had over the years, currently and in the past, just that's to me that's the stuff of life. Just sitting and I know Jack relates to this. Just sitting with people and eating and chatting and talking for hours. Just amazing. It's like my favorite thing to do.
Yeah, when
And
they're
number
good people,
3,
for sure.
Huh?
When they're good people, for sure.
Oh yeah, of course. Fulfilling contribution. So yeah, I mean, I do think we contribute to each other's lives for sure. Contribution.
Yeah, I think in this context, it means something that you did that allowed other people to do something good or produce something. So it's when you played a supportive role in another person's pursuit or life or something. So relationships with your daughter makes a lot of sense there, or relationships with daughters.
I'd have to think. I think I can only come up with 2 right now. I'd have to think about it some more to
Okay.
come up with a 3rd.
What about you, Bray?
Well, one thing that's really fulfilling to me, I mean, it's not like a one-time thing. Is I love playing basketball, and whenever got good games going, that it always gets my day going for the rest of the day, maybe for even the next day. So I don't
Is
know if you can
this
count that
so?
one.
This it's not so much about what, or at least based on the context of what answers the teacher of the course gave. It's more about like things that you've done that have contributed to someone else, and that's
Yeah.
why they're fulfilling. It's not so much about something that feels fulfilling. Does that make sense?
Oh, okay. Yep. Yep.
And that because
Okay.
otherwise it would be pretty much the same as like 3 most fulfilling things and 3 most past successes could be identical, but they're separate. I think
One
this one's a bit harder.
fulfilling. Yeah, because not everybody gives like that. So, but one thing I definitely try to do is always give a lending hand. And there was one time I was helping someone out, and I really got some good realizations. I just can't remember what we was doing,
I
but
remember in the beginning, one of your goal was to talk to like a certain amount of strangers. That was cool. I don't know if what you're talking about has anything to do with that period, but
no, that was being a salesperson for someone's company. So, man, yep, gotta think about that one. Gotta think about it. Cause
at least one almost certainly has to do with children, because by definition you are contributing and creating them. So that's probably one.
true.
I thought of one for myself.
Yeah.
Maybe it'll trigger something for somebody else. I kind of took somebody under my wing and dog walking, and if I have extra work or something, I give it to her, and she has kids, so it helps her out a lot. And I try to give her good advice for just getting more money and things like that. So that feels good, and I think I'm contributing to her life.
Apprentice.
Kind of. She's been doing it a while, but
Okay.
sometimes we get out here on the phone and we make a lot of mistakes and stuff, and if we don't have anybody to guide us, or
Contributions to coworker, not What's the better word for that? Because it's
associate.
Associate. There you go. Okay, Bray, I can buy you some time here. Now I have to struggle for my 3. Fulfilling contributions, things that I've done that have assisted other people. YouTube definitely is probably the thing that I've done that assisted the most people, but that's just because it's a bunch of free dropshipping information. But that's definitely one of them. There was previous. Okay. How do I word this? Previous relationship. There was a relationship I was in, like a romantic relationship that was on and off for like 3 years, where I very much knew that I needed to help another person find stability, and a lot of my friends viewed it as toxic, and it was very toxic, but at the same time I knew that I was exposing myself to like a level of intensity that once I got used to and then left behind, I would be able to handle like almost anything in life. I feel like I used to be very, very shy and nervous and timid, and this relationship put me in a position where I didn't have a choice but to improve, and I believe that I played a very large role in helping this other person as well, even though there was a lot of toxicness. I think that I gave a lot less of that back to her than other people who inevitably would have been in my same position. And I also got a lot out of that relationship. It kind of defined a lot about who I became at the time in my life where I was in this relationship. I didn't really believe in myself very much. I didn't have that much confidence. But this person, even though they had problems with alcohol and they had like issues with jealousy and it was complicated, they believed in me as a person and viewed me as somebody who was going to like figure all of my problems out and fix things. And she often told me that by the time I turned 24, I would figure out like all of the problems of my past and I'd be living in new problems. And the day I turned 24 was my first day in Nicaragua. It ended up, I don't know if that was like a self-fulfilling prophecy or whatever, but she believed in me in a fundamental way that really shaped who I became. And I also know that I allowed her to have stability in a time where she had absolutely none. And that helped her get on her feet to then become a more independent person. So that was definitely something that took a lot out of me and completely fundamentally changed me, but I think that was a contribution for sure. And YouTube, I don't want to use the course because I benefited so much from the course. It completely changed my life. So I feel like I've
fulfilling. You said fulfilling contribution, so that's just right, isn't it?
I feel like that's more like a success. That's not about me really going all out and doing something for other people. I knew that there was demand for something, but I made a product and I priced it cheap so people can afford it, and in that way that's contributing, but I don't think it counts. I think there's probably something I did that's more it's better. I think coming to Nicaragua, but that's also, oh gosh, these are like the same.
You called it a fulfilling. That's what she said. If you feel fulfilled, then it's not bad. And isn't that what she's saying? Something that makes you feel fulfilled when you do it?
Yeah,
It's
but
gotta affect somebody else too.
yeah, that's
like,
the thing. It's got to be good for other people. And that's why I said Nicaragua not because I feel good about it or I feel fulfilled about it, because it's put me in a position where I'm face to face with people who are who the information I have are way more valuable for. Like, information about self-employment and positivity is way more valuable and rare in Latin America than it is in the United States. So I'm now in a position where I have more to give people because they have more to benefit from me. So that's like the frame that I'm thinking about it in. But yeah, this is basically the same list, except this one has relationship instead of the Udemy course.
okay. I think I got 3.
Okay.
Okay, so one's gonna be like you, the YouTube channel. That
Okay.
definitely is a great way for me to push out information, and I like how people interact with my videos. I'm specifically giving them information so it can help advance their life. And then the second one was I just bought a brand new basketball, and I went down to the court and played. And I saw these kids; they were playing with these, beat up ball and stuff. So I just gave them the ball. And the thing about when you give kids stuff, they just appreciate it so
Yeah.
much more. So
They're like, wow!
yeah. So it was all lit up and stuff, and I never forgot that. That's pretty funny.
Okay.
That's pretty funny.
I'm going to call that kid basketball memory.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Oh, that was 2. All right, and then the third one, it's pretty funny, but back in the days when I used to be a person who would donate weed to people and stuff, it was I could definitely see how like people would be very appreciative, especially because I would go all out and make sure everything was right and stuff, and just try to be the best dealer out there. But people really appreciate when you do good service, and no matter what type of
Sunshine
service
in a
you're doing.
bag, man.
Yeah. So yeah, I think that was a great contribution that I was doing
Okay.
back then.
How do I word that?
Being
I want to write giving people weed, but I feel like there's a better way to put it. I don't know.
I mean that that's friendly. That's friendly. Giving
Yeah,
people
it's
weed.
friendly to people
Don't
who
go.
like weed, but a lot of people are from a scene where they probably would like it if they tried it, but they were raised so much thinking it's a bad thing that it has heavy bad connotations with them, regardless to the fact that it makes you like happy, hungry, and horny.
See, the three H's. Yes, sir.
Yeah.
uh, but yeah,
Okay.
that's why I want to start a cannabis
Providing people
restaurant.
with happiness.
That's why I really want to start a cannabis restaurant because I don't think smoking it is the best productive manner to take in cannabis. It's way better to eat it.
Yeah,
Way
that's
better.
true. It is definitely like, it's way less kind of invasive. You just kind of feel more on a proper edibles dose. You just feel kind of pleasant and good. You don't have as much of the lightheadedness or the like the dizziness. But if you take a really big dose, it is completely possible to get way more anxious than you can smoking, because you can
Too much
consume
of
a
a good
larger
thing.
dose. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Okay, so now let's move on. The next thing is, there's three more. These are all simple because we only need to think of one for each, okay? So, goal for the next year. Who wants to start? Is that a sigh of you want to start?
Yeah, sure. I want to make videos regularly for the next year.
Okay.
I really want to make one every day, but that may not quite happen. So I don't know. You know.
Okay.
That's
What
one goal.
about
I
what
don't.
about 5 out of 7 days a week?
How about 3?
Okay. 3. So on average, you want to produce a video every other day,
Yeah.
roughly. Make a video every other day. Oh, woo. Okay, cool.
Salud.
Oh wait, I put it in Bray's column. Rita. Okay. Do you have something, Bray?
Yep, I want to be a full-time stock trader.
Full-time stock trader. Okay. Full-time stock trader. And what does that mean exactly? Does that mean you're no longer doing the welding thing, or you're doing the welding thing like part-time? What does this mean in your head?
Full-time, no longer. That's my main source of income. Not doing the welding, none of
Okay,
that. Not working for
gotcha.
someone else.
So more like you're relying on stock trading for your income. Because I use the same phrase. I say like, oh, I'm full-time in this, but I don't do anything full-time. I don't even do anything part-time. So so I was just
That's
trying to
funny.
figure out what you meant by full-time. Because some people literally mean, I want to be spending 40 hours a week doing this. Um,
Definitely not.
okay, full-time stock trader. Cool. And for me, my goal for 1 year is to have published the Spanish content website. I throw around being done with it or having it published in 3 months or 6 months, but I could see that if I really get into it, I feel like I could keep putting work into it before it launches. I don't want to be in a position where like I'm going with publishing it in 6 months because that's some arbitrary number I made up, and at that point I feel like it could need more before it's ready. I don't want to just publish it because I said I would. I want to publish it when I know that it's ready and I'm confident. That being said, a year from now, I think is plenty of time for that whole process to happen. I think that's quite realistic. So, all right, next we're scaling it up. Now it's a goal for 5 years from now. That's a long time. I haven't even been in this scene for 5 years.
I have one.
Okay.
more of a 3-year, but it's more my 2-year, but I'll just call it my 5-year. I want to be taking care of at least one grandchild, which means I'll have to relocate to San Diego County.
I'm going to change this to list one goal for 3 years. So it's going to be 1 year, 3 year, and then 10 years.
Okay.
And yours is?
Yeah, so it means I have to move to San Diego so I can be near my... So that's really the one that's going to take, that's going to be the one that I really have to focus on is getting down there.
Okay,
because
because if you're there, you'll do
starting all over again. Huh?
If you're in San Diego, then you'll be near them, so you'll play a role in their lives. Whereas if you don't move, you won't be there. So the more specific, actionable is move to San Diego. That makes sense.
Right. Well, I have to have some kind of income,
that allows you to accomplish
that I can move.
Moving there. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Bray?
Oh, you like those top quality places, Rita?
Yeah, my daughter, she's moving to Encinitas. It's like so expensive. I can't believe it. But her and her husband, they had their bike stolen and their car keyed and all this weird stuff in the neighborhood where they were. So they just want to get into a better area.
Understandable. Very understandable.
Man, more people get robbed in California than I know people getting robbed here in Nicaragua. It's funny.
I think California's got the highest breaking and entering in any.
Yeah, you have incredible wealth and extreme poverty literally rubbing up against each other in a very weird. It's odd. It's it's just genuinely weird to see a luxury high-rise condominium with boxes and tents in the base of it. I'm glad that the tents and stuff are there because I would rather them be there than be kicked out because they should be in sight because it's a problem and we should see it. We shouldn't be hiding from it, right? That's something that's kind of interesting about the U.S.'s mentality towards homelessness compared to some other places. There's other countries where the existence of benches and public things are for people who are in bad places to use and sleep on and stuff. And the view of the society, some other societies, is that if these people are having so many problems that they're homeless and sleeping in this way, that needs to be public so that the rest of the world the rest of us can see what's happening and know it exists. Whereas other societies are just screw that shit, get the fuck out of here, not our problem, you're homeless, figure your shit out somewhere else.
It's not that you mind seeing them. It's just the thing of when they start stealing from you and all that crap.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in the United States, there's a lot of scammy people that are supposedly helping the homeless, and they're really not. They're really not.
Yeah,
Not
it's
much.
crazy.
I'm not saying they never do, but there's so much money spent on it, and it's a complicated problem too, especially when you bring in substance abuse. But as far as I'm concerned, I don't mind seeing them at all. But I don't want to step in poop, and I don't want to, I don't want my kid to pick up a dirty needle or something,
Yeah.
So it's kind of it's a tough situation.
So, Bray, sorry, I completely lost track of what led to that conversation. But my cursor is on Bray's list one goal for 3 years field.
Yep, for 5 years, right?
It was 5, but then I changed it to 3 because Rita's goal was 3.
Okay. Dang, 3. Well, if I could do 5, then I definitely want to get going my cannabis restaurant.
Okay. 3. I guess I can change it to
3 would be good
list
too.
one.
Get me going.
Do you think it's realistic for you to be doing that in 3 years? Is that something you would? Okay, cool. It's 3. You just lost 2 years of time to work on that.
right. I'm making excuses trying to add extra years.
Have you ever made Emerald Dragon?
Emerald Dragon. No,
Yeah.
what's that?
It's when you get cannabis, you decarb it, and then you soak it in alcohol, a strong alcohol, for a month or 2. And then when you make it properly, you just need one shot, and then you forget about it, and 2 hours later you will feel sufficiently medicated. It's really, really, really
Wow.
effective. I made it recently, and I made it too weak. So you needed like 3 or 4 shots. So you basically like get drunk, sober up, and then get really stoned, which is it's a bit of an interesting experience.
That's what's up. No, I
Um,
haven't tried.
okay, so my goal for 3 years, holy crap, 3 years? I knew the 10-year one. 3 years though? That's a long way from now. Holy crap. I had just come to Nicaragua 3 years ago. Wow. Um, I guess I want to have a relationship with someone I'm in love with. Relationship with love. There we go. Okay. That's probably the most meaningful thing that could happen to me in 3 years that would affect everything else that I do. Okay. Now we're on to the next part, which is a 10-year goal. I don't know why. Why do people even make 10-year goals? How the hell are we supposed to predict what's going to happen in a decade?
You're not
Yeah.
predicting.
It's kind of odd, isn't it? Because by its nature, it's probably not going to be. That's so far away. How do you possibly comprehend what you're going to want to accomplish 10 years from now?
I mean, whatever you're thinking about for those 10 years, you're gonna attract it to you. So, I like the idea of thinking long term and 20 years out, 25 years out, so you kind of have a frame and know what to focus on the long term. If you find yourself getting unfocused and stuff, you can look back
Yeah.
at your goals and be
So
like, yeah,
it's not so much about being right about it. It's about just having something in mind that you're heading towards.
yeah.
But I mean, how many people have a 10-year plan, you know? I mean, like most things don't take 10 years to do. They take way less time than 10 years. Like way less time. But anyway, who's got a
Uh,
10-year goal?
I got one. I want to start a financial church.
Financial church. Elaborate.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
So instead of people going to religion services on Sundays and stuff, they can have the option of going to my church where I teach financial education and pretty much everything that you're doing, Jack, is putting out your knowledge out there and helping people start an income online and stuff.
Cool. Uh, open a financial church, operate a financial church, host financial church meetings.
Open, because I want it like
Open.
my own building and all that.
Okay, cool. Church. Okay. Rita?
I would like to be semi-retired or even retired because I'll
Okay.
be 64 in 10 years.
What does
And huh?
what does retired mean to you?
It means I'll only work at things I want to work at, and which I kind of do now. But yeah, I mean, yeah, and I just choice when I got up in the morning, I'd have a choice whether I wanted to work that day or not.
Okay, so have the ability to just be like, fuck it, and stay in bed all day.
Yeah.
It sounds like financial freedom.
For financial freedom to hang out with who I want to hang out with and be with, and like I said, hopefully I'll be a grandmother and
Yeah.
just hang out with family, helpful to my family and just chill, just enjoy life. I've worked a lot, my whole life, so
Cool.
yeah.
And mine is to have a kid. I think that's definitely something. I didn't used to think that way, but now, like, when I see a little kid or something or a little cute family, I'm like, oh my god, I want that. I was like, oh my gosh, what is this?
That's so sweet.
I also think that there's a level of like I'm a pretty responsible person, and I care about becoming more responsible. And I had a period in my life where I was super, super responsible because I had to be, because I was with someone who had a lot of intense history. But I also know that, like, I'm not like my most diligent self will start to exist once I have a kid. I know that. I know that like up until that point, I'm going to work and improve on things, but it's going to be different. And I really think that I'm like, I don't want to just have a kid and then have to work all the time. I want to have a kid and be able to show the kid the world and work, but only 3 or 4 hours a day, and be a big role in my kid's life while they're growing up. Like my father, I was raised by a stay-at-home dad, and I think that he really enabled me to have this mentality of like, oh, there's obstacles, we can create solutions. It's not about you being smart or not smart. It's just about trying and being interested and having fun, and like all these things he kind of taught me through the way that he was and the things that he cared about. These are things that I want to do for someone, and I feel like I'm in a better position because my father was incredibly financially.
The bars, though.
Means I have to be really careful. And I disconnected more, but I'm back now. And I guess we're done with this document. Hey, I'm back.
We don't lose you. You just you're like a jumper. You're over on this side of the screen and then shoot. But we hear your audio. It's good.
Okay, cool. Well, I finished that rant anyway. Cool. So we did our document. Awesome. That was a exercise. Now we can talk about the course itself. What were you guys' takeaway? Anyone want to start?
Oh, I did that thing again. I think branding, I think it kind of happens naturally to some extent. As you, like you said, if you're just making regular content, I think it'll happen kind of naturally.
Some people have a really hard time with that, though. Like, that was one of the things the lady talks about, is that when you're putting yourself out there, it's very, very easy to make yourself try and come off as a certain way when maybe that's not who you are, and to not be honest and not to be genuine because you're scared of something being judged about you, right? And these are very real things. They're definitely things that control what people end up making content about. So I wouldn't say it comes naturally necessarily to everybody, because some people really need to like be specifically told that there is advantage to being genuine and vulnerable. Like, okay, for reference, today I woke up and read YouTube comments, which is a dumb thing to do, but I like the thrills, so I do that sometimes. And there was a comment on a video where someone was like, oh, I like this video, but you need to go fix your teeth, you need to work out more, and you need to get a spray tan because then maybe the ladies would care about you, or something like this, right? So I responded to this person, and I was pretty much like, oh man, my whole life people have been saying this stuff, and it's given me a bunch of insight into how to respond to you. Fuck off. And so then he responded and wrote like multiple paragraphs. And he's definitely not a bad guy in any way, just a typical case of somebody like who has been treated bad and judged by other people, and so they've now internalized this and they're pushing it out on random people on the internet. Because like in a certain context, his points could be useful. In my case, I don't think they're relevant at all to the actual problems in my life. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a problem like meeting people. It's just that I'm not very interested in the people I meet, and I have, like, I'm being more patient because of the crazy relationships I went into the past where I learned, oh, you gotta have stuff in common, otherwise after 2 or 3 years shit gets complicated. Like, it's important, right? And I think it's true that if you're looking for something, sometimes you can't find it. Sometimes you just have to work on your, like, that whole work on yourself thing, and someone's going to come along the way, I think that is super relevant. I definitely don't want to be relying on another person for my happiness until like I've really developed my ability to do that myself. And I think I've made a lot of progress with that. I've gotten distracted in talking about relationships again. What were we talking about?
I forget. I don't.
Of course. Personal branding. It being easy for people, hard for others. Then how the frick? I don't know. I remember before whatever distracted me.
Well, you were just saying it's hard for some people, and you're right. Oh, you were talking about that. Somebody said you needed to fix your teeth and stuff.
Oh,
from
yeah,
YouTube.
the YouTube comment. That's right. Oh, this is kind of Yeah, so, okay, this was a classic example of a person who feels so insecure that they haven't pursued things that are important to them in their life, and they've changed their worldview to incorporate those insecurities into it so that they don't have to put themselves in that insecure position. And this person showed me that by seeing me, a person who's just making content, living my life, and criticizing me, right? And the reality is that the things that he's saying to me, he only said 3 things to me. He said infinite things about every single flaw that he's ever had to himself in his own mind over and over and over again. And that's why it's easy for him to say critical things about another person, is because that part of his brain that's critical is usually, when people are critical of others, it's because they are that way to themselves. And that's what allows them to then be critical of other people. And most of the time, being critical of somebody else is irrelevant and isn't going to do any good. It's not going to lead to any improvement. You can't just look at people and tell them to fix their problems.
Yeah, it's not like you're going to go, oh, I never thought of that.
Yeah.
Right? I never thought of fixing my teeth or this or that. You know, it's not like people have never thought of these things. But that's, I'm glad you brought that up, because I sent you a message on Skype. I don't know if you saw it, but actually, the first time I saw you, and I did notice your teeth, but it made you more relatable. And you and I have talked about that, how if I just show myself, I'll be relatable to probably some old, middle-aged lady, chubby old, whoever. But it made you more relatable to me. It made you seem, I don't know, like
more
friendlier.
human.
I never liked, huh?
More human.
Yeah, like I don't really like people when they're too plastic, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I don't mean plastic surgery, but
No. Trust, plastic is the perfect word.
And they're too perfect. It's harder to relate to them.
Dude,
even if
yeah.
they've got good information.
That's exactly why I brought that comment up, because it showed me, I was like, man, I don't want to be like this guy. I'm glad I'm not. And like, I didn't even really I felt a little bit offended at first, but now I don't feel, like, I feel understanding. I know what leads people to be critical of other people, and I feel sorry for people who are stuck in that mentality, because it sucks, and it's sad, and it's depressing, and it's lonely. And I'm glad that I'm not like that. Like, super glad.
Yeah. I hope I can remember that and internalize what you've just talked about. When because eventually I'll go on and I'll get those mean comments, I'm sure. And I hope I can be as mature as you. I feel like crying just thinking about it right now.
I have
getting people insulting me.
There's one video. Have I talked to you guys about this video? One second. Anytime, yeah, you're going to get insulted at some point. So as a way to help you deal with that, I'm about to show you a video where I'm insulted on a regular basis.
Oh, God.
Let me find it. It is where I was showing cost of living in Wheeling, West Virginia. And for some reason, the comments on this particular video are, I think basically enough of them made comments about my teeth that people will look at the video and then talk about my teeth because they see it in the comments, and it's basically a meme, right? Or within the video. So let's see. A comment just says, teeth. Let's see. Someone defended me. That was nice. But where are the good provocative comments? You know, that brings up another funny point. How you often or I often feel like a bunch of comments are bad, but then maybe in reality, there's only like 3 or 4 bad comments, and there's a bunch of positive ones. Like right now, I'm scrolling down, and everything's neutral or positive, and I think it's funny that in my brain, it's just
So you remember all
negative.
the bad ones.
Oh, here we go. Yo, get your teeth sorted. He's scary looking. All his teeth appear to be pointed, and he kind of looks inbred or possibly a distant relative to a vampire.
Oh my God. Fucking jerk. You know, and there's a thing on YouTube, and I've noticed it on Reddit too. People
that
are
was
trying
great.
they're trying to be funny. They're trying to be funny,
Yeah,
but
no,
they're
it's
really
true.
just, oh, come on.
Apparently they rent to vampires in Wheeling. Where's another one? You make me sick. Brush your teeth. Actually, I gotta say, in all these bad comments, the responses to them are pretty good. Like, they're all defending me, which is nice. It's always nice when you get someone to defend you.
It is. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I just wanted to share. That's actually not too crazy. I have some much more intense videos from the period of time where I had beef with another YouTuber. That's when the real hardcore comments happened. And that's when I learned that you shouldn't wake up and check your YouTube comments.
Wow.
So I think we can move on to the accountability stuff now, yeah? Oh, hey, Noah. What's up? I just noticed there's another person here.
So, Jack.
Hey, how you doing, man?
I'm good. How are you?
I think I recognize you said you might join in the Discord chat, right? You're...
No, I just joined like a minute ago.
Okay, gotcha. Oh yeah, Noah Mincis. Nice. Whoa, your name is actually the same as your Discord name. That's so easy. That's not confusing at all. What's going on here?
No, I literally just changed it before I got Discord. I just made it my name and then.
Nice. So tell us about yourself. What's going on?
I'm all good. I have a YouTube channel. I don't know if you're familiar with it.
Nope.
Talk about
I'll check it out.
wholesale and stuff like that.
What is it?
It's literally my name.
YouTube Noah Mincis. E-commerce and wholesale. Cool.
Exactly.
Let's see. When did you start?
For YouTube?
Yeah.
Like a year ago.
With a video Salon Bonanza?
No, I had videos prior to that, but I took them down.
Yeah, that's classic. Every YouTuber has like 20 videos.
Yeah, I don't even watch my first videos anymore. I just I can't watch them. It hurts me to watch my old videos.
Dude, it's weird watching your, like, to this day when I hear my voice or someone's watching one of my videos, I'm like, I leave the room. Like, I don't like hearing it or seeing it. It's funny.
My family members, when I first started the channel, they were subscribing. My dad's like, "Oh, what's your YouTube channel?" My sister's like, so I was like, "No, don't subscribe because they're like, I don't want you guys watching my videos. I don't want you to see like anything about it."
That's hilarious. So, how'd you find the group? What prompted you to join?
I know that you do them a lot. I'm still subscribed to your channel, so I was like, why not join?
Awesome. Yeah, so just for some reference, this is a group that meets once a week on the weekend. We change the date sometimes. It depends on what's going on with people's schedules. Right now, it's Sunday at 11:30 California time, 2:30 Eastern time, or 1:30 my time. Yeah, originally they were on Friday. I've been doing these for I started a year ago, almost exactly, but it wasn't with this specific format, and it was with different people. And then eventually I just started doing weekly live streams because they used to be private meetings. And I'm glad that I did that because that basically forced the people who joined to be YouTubers. just because even it's free, right? But there's essentially a barrier to entry because you know that you're being recorded and you're being live streamed. And the reality is, like, nobody watches these live streams. So it doesn't actually matter that much, but it's still a perceived barrier that stops people from participating unless typically they have some kind of interest in YouTube. Like, all 4 of us are YouTubers.
Really?
Yet there's no requirement for it to be YouTube, but that tends to be how it plays out. Almost every single person who's joined this call at least has an interest in YouTube in some way, and they end up joining because it's an experience or it's an opportunity to get more experience being on YouTube content and also talking to other YouTubers.
Right.
So what we typically do is we all figure out a course that we're going to take. We use Skillshare just because it's easy to get membership. If you don't want to pay for it, there's ways to get it for free. It's cheap. It's like $15 a month, something like that. And you get however many courses you want to take. So this way, when we pick a course, we don't have to buy it or anything. We can just take it. So we usually pick one course to take over the week, and then we talk about it. In this case, we made this document where we did a couple goals and stuff. So I can actually add this to you, and then we can get you to answer some of these questions, okay?
Are you still on Skillshare?
I'm on Skillshare as a student. I don't post courses on
You
Skillshare.
never got that resolved?
I got the opportunity to try and get it resolved because of like having a presence and my friend Chris getting his Skillshare account back. But I don't like Skillshare as a okay, you're better off having a course on Skillshare than having nothing, but you're better off having your course on Udemy or be self-hosted than have it on Skillshare.
Isn't the opportunity though to make income on Skill? It's so high. Like in order to actually make income on Udemy and Skillshare, you need to be able to either be a really big creator and to drive a lot of traffic to your course, or from the way that you did it is that you could have an affiliate or just that. It just seems like to be a creator just seems like such a worthless time consuming thing unless you actually have the audience.
For me, with the Udemy course, creating courses is the most profitable thing based on hours spent that I've ever done in my life.
How much does Udemy take from the total sale?
Udemy takes 50% if they give you the traffic, and they take 3% if you bring the traffic.
But you can only they limit the amount that you can actually charge for a course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I see YouTubers who sell Teachable, who use Kajabi and all the other ones. It's like insane profit margins.
It depends what game you're getting into, because there's being a course seller and there's teaching people, and they're different games. The way most people sell courses isn't designed to educate people. It's designed to get as much money as possible from people, and educating them is put to the side. You should never pay more than $100 for a course. Like to give you some reference, like realistically, if you're talking about paying for information, all of this hype about these $1,000 courses, that's all emotional manipulation. You have to manipulate people to get them to pay that money by selling them a dream. You're not actually giving them information that is that valuable, because there's almost no information that is that valuable. Like if you're talking about
devil's advocate, and what about if there is a course? I'm not arguing for courses that are like 2,500, but let's say like a course 500, 400, somewhere around that price range. You don't think there's courses where the creator puts in the amount of time, that curates and has the
I
actual,
think so.
not
Like
even
Paul
dropshipping,
Lipsky, for example. I think he's a good example of that, for someone who does it ethically. But realistically, if you're charging $500 for your course, you are guaranteeing the vast majority of your students will never make that money back. If you charge 20 or 40 bucks, it is actually feasible that a large percentage of your students make that money back and make profit. And that's a thing all these people are aware of. And anybody who sells a course for like hundreds of dollars is engaged in trying to convert cold leads into sales, and you have to manipulate people's emotions to get that to happen. And in general,
so there's a distinction between selling courses and teaching people.
Definitely, absolutely. You can make millions of dollars selling courses and be the shittiest teacher in the world and not have any valuable information. That's completely possible, and a lot of people do it. It's not like the desire to teach people and the way online courses are sold are it's like they want you to think that they care about teaching you, but that literally doesn't matter to them. It's not to most of them. It's irrelevant. Like if you're paying $300 or $400 and you're getting time, you're getting some consulting time, you're getting access to a community, you're getting all of these other benefits that stack, then maybe it's worth it. But there is no information in the online world that is worth that much money and actually is worth it. It's just something that's being sold to you. To put this in perspective, okay, you know Gordon Ramsay? You know who this person is?
Yeah.
Super famous, right? You know who Morgan Freeman is?
Yep.
Okay, super famous people, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some of the most talented in what they do. Would you say that that's...
Yeah.
Is that accurate, right? There's a website called masterclass.com. Masterclass is a course website that only has courses by really, really, really famous people, like Gordon Ramsay teaching you how to cook, Morgan Freeman teaching you how to act, this kind of stuff, right? They have like 80 courses on their website. And guess how much it costs per course to learn from these actual literal experts?
It's like $99 a course, and then I have the monthly membership. If you want.
Exactly. It's $90 a course to learn from that's to give you some frames of reference for the actual value of information. Information is valuable, but it's never as valuable as these people trying to sell you $300, $400, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 courses actually are. And that game has a lot of corruption in it, a whole lot of corruption, because you can completely become an educator and tell yourself you're an educator, and you can be earning all of the dollars to convince people that you should be taken seriously, you'll get treated differently in your real life, and you can go all down this path for 10, 20 years and never be teaching anyone anything. And that happens, and it's hard to not go down that path, because as soon as you produce something that gets attention, like on Udemy or on YouTube or whatever, you will regularly be contacted by people trying to sell your content for 10 or 20 times what you currently sell it for and get you involved into that scene. Like, for me to not be involved in that scene, I've had to ignore 20 or 30 emails from different people and companies, and this is all that they do. They find small one-off instructors that have produced courses, and they try and mass produce them and charge way, way more money for them.
With consent or without consent?
With consent. That's a vibe like, if you don't know what you're doing and you produce a course and it gets attention, people will reach out to you and present it to you as a business opportunity, because it is. And you can work with these people and earn more money than you were earning before. And it's hard not to. But when you go down that path, that's what happens.
Right.
And I'm really not trying to, I'm not trying to like hate on people who sell expensive courses, but it definitely for me as a course instructor is like an ethical thing. I want my content to be cheap enough that people in like countries like Nicaragua and other places can afford it. I want to have thousands of students, not just hundreds that paid me thousands of dollars, even though I would earn more money doing that. But again, it depends what you're trying to do. Are you trying to make a course and earn money, or are you trying to teach people? Because they're different things.
I hear you.
So let's try and fill this out real quick. So we filled out this document based on this course we had done, and there were a couple criteria. Me, Bray, and Rita, who are the other people on this call, did this earlier. And so I want to just get your answers to a couple of these questions so I can put them in this form. And then if you show up in the future, we can refer back to this and it'll be amusing, okay?
Sounds good.
So the first one is 3 past successes. So 3 things that you have done in your past that you feel proud of.
Oh, you just go for like deep questions right away. I don't know. I'm pretty good at selling on Amazon. It's probably a success.
Okay. Like FBA, drop shipping, what kind of selling on Amazon?
I do drop shipping and wholesale. I did private label, but I lost $5,000 initially. And then it's just like...
Okay. 2 more.
I don't know. I can't really think right now.
You got to think of 2 more. 2 more things in your life that you think are successful.
Starting YouTube. That was a good success.
Okay.
The one thing that besides courses and everything else and ad revenue, the one thing that YouTube really opens up is it gives you connections.
Yeah.
Like I've met Rico, I've met Success with Sully and all these other people.
Dude,
So
it's
one
a
thing
huge
that's
catalyst.
like crazy.
It's way, that factor is way more financially lucrative than ad revenue. Ad revenue is
sure.
just dollar payments. Networking can be hundreds of thousands of dollars if you get hooked up with the right people.
Definitely. Third one. Success. I don't know.
Did you graduate college or high school or something?
I'm graduating next year, so I'll call that a success. I made it for 3 years of college.
There you go. Stayed in college. Yeah, and you're far enough in that now you gotta finish.
I know
Can't
that's
leave
what
3 out of 4 years.
Everyone
Okay.
always asking that. They're like, "Oh, why are you staying in?" I was like, "I literally I'm paying like $30,000 a year, and I've already done 3 years. I can't drop out like last year."
Yeah, you're too far in. All right, so now you have to think. This one's even harder, by the way. You have to think of 3 of your most fulfilling contributions. So these are things that you have done that have helped or assisted or enabled other people.
I don't know. I don't like being put on the spot like this. I don't know.
Yeah, I know, right? You gotta come up with a response, and you gotta sound confident, man. This is what makes this kind of group helpful.
I have a friend. I don't know. I helped him. I helped him start selling on Amazon. That was
Okay.
very fulfilling.
Helped friends start. You could use starting your YouTube channel as a fulfilling contribution as
Why
well.
not? Put it in there.
Making YouTube videos. So
Help pay for my mom's car. That's a good one. I love that
okay.
one.
Financing mom's car. Awesome, nice. So now there's 3 more questions, but you only need 1 answer for each of these, okay?
All right, thank God.
1 goal for 1 year from now.
10K subs. That's a goal.
10,000 subs on YouTube. Okay. 1 goal for 3 years from now.
3 years from now, I want to have. I don't know. I want to travel more.
Travel more is vague.
I don't really have a specific country that I want to go to. I just want to like see more of the world. I could say I want to be happy. That's like a goal that everyone has, but it's also vague.
You could make the traveling one more vague by saying visit a new country every X.
I want to get a Tesla. That's a goal.
Got a Tesla, okay.
Now it just sounds so material.
Whatever, man. 10 years.
That's too far.
Exactly, that's what I said. Mine's have a kid.
10 years? I want to learn a new language by then.
Learn new language. Hey, there you go. Nice, that's a good one. All right, cool. So now we've completed this. Do you guys, Bray or Rita, you guys want to say hello to Noah?
What up, Noah?
What's up, Bray?
Chillin'. Is Rita still on? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm here. I lost you guys for a minute, but yep, hi Noah.
Hello, Rita.
So now we've all filled out our worksheet. We got to figure out our tasks, and we also got to figure out what course we're going to take. So anyone want to volunteer to talk about how their week went? How'd you do with your stuff?
Yeah, I'm still working on mine. Mine was to get all the recipes for my Canna cookbook,
Yeah.
and yeah, it's gonna take a little while. So I kind of knew that, but been working on it pretty diligently. So
Nice.
I'll make that my goal. I wanted to have it done by next week. At least just the recipes, the instructions and directions.
That's why with my goals I usually do like work on this every day, not finish this by this day, because I tend to get more done if I just develop the habit of touching it more often instead of thinking like, oh, I need to do 33 of these, because honestly, most of the time we make numbers, they're just arbitrary numbers that we make up, and it has nothing to do with the actual like strategy and structure that really works for a product. We just like being like, I want to say 10. I want to have the top 10. Why 10? I don't know. It's better than 9, and it's worse than 11, I guess. I don't know. But 10, right? So don't worry too much about that. As long as you've been working on it, so that's good. That's what matters.
Sure.
What recipes did you add in it so far?
Oh, what recipes?
Yeah.
Man, I've been seeing some crazy stuff. There's like a cookies and cream, Snickers bar, whole bunch of gummies.
It's gonna
Many
make me
different type of
hungry.
ways you can make gummies. One thing was a like a turkey dinner, for Thanksgiving. It had it all cannabis cooked up, so I was like, yeah, okay, I'm
Cannabis
starting to
gravy.
explore.
Cannabis
Yeah,
gravy's easy. Anything with fat's easy.
exactly. Right. It's all easier, just mixing the regular oil or butter with cannabis oil or butter.
Yeah.
It's just the same thing. So
Okay. Do you have any idea what you want to do for the next week?
the weekly, for the weekly course or for the accountability?
For the accountability.
Work on my Canna cookbook at least 4 times this week.
Okay. Work on Canna cookbook. I like that. Canna cookbook. Funny. Okay. 4 times you said. So what would that look like? Like, say you sit down and you're working on it. What are you doing? What's that workflow
Looking
look
up
like?
looking up recipes, going in all those Facebook groups that are around that culture, cannabis cooking,
Okay.
and I'm just going through there, looking at the recipes, and when I finally make my cookbook, I'm gonna do some alterations and stuff, and maybe try to like reach out to these people and be like, hey, I'm making this cannabis cookbook. It's all right if I use your pictures or stuff like that. So
Nice. So the specific task is browsing the internet for recipes that you like or you feel some kind of interest or connection to, and then you document these recipes.
correct, copy and paste them, put them in a Word
Awesome.
document.
That seems clear and specific.
There we go.
All right. Rita, what about you?
Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
Okay. I've had some connection problems. So my goal last week was to check with the 3 forums every day. Oh no, 5 days out of 7. That's to give me ideas of what to make videos about. And I think I did that 4 or 5 days, maybe 5. I didn't document it, but I was pretty much on it. And then I did make 3 videos this week, so I was really happy about that.
Yeah, you've been doing awesome
And
with the content. You like make content now. It's a thing. That's awesome.
yeah,
That's like the most
yeah,
important thing ever.
Right?
yeah.
You are getting.
I struggle. I really struggle with feeling like it's a waste of time. I'm just trying to trust that something good will come out of it. But right now it kind of feels like no one's ever gonna watch them. Blah blah blah.
Watch
All that
Reyes
stuff.
the Entrepreneur's
So,
videos. That helps me so much whenever I feel like that.
what's that?
I watch Reyes the Entrepreneur's videos from chronological order. So I watched his very first YouTube videos, and it's great because he like almost gives up, and he like on 3 separate occasions makes a video and is like, guys, I can't keep making this YouTube content anymore. I need to take a break. I don't know what to do. It's not going anywhere. To my 8 subscribers, whatever. And then of course you're watching this video and he's already produced 1 viral video. So every one of his videos has thousands and thousands of views, and he has like hundreds of thousands of subscribers. So seeing him in this shitty ass video being like, yo, 8 subscribers, sorry guys, I gotta stop for a bit. I don't think this is gonna work. It's amazing. It's just a perfect moment to show you that's what all YouTubers go through, and that is literally a rite of passage. You gotta come to an understanding with that feeling of it not working out and just make content regardless.
Well, and the thing is, it's actually giving me, I think this is what's going on. I think it's giving me a lot of energy. I think, unless there's something else going on that I am not, aware of, that's making me feel energetic. But
that's one of the main reasons I do it.
Yeah, I mean,
it makes me feel happy.
It isn't a ton of work. Anyway, I look up a topic and I'm interested in the topic, and then, I make a video while I'm walking dogs. It's not hard. I act like it's so difficult. It's really not that hard. So I'm just being a baby. But so I think I shouldn't say think. My goal is to show my face in a video this week that I put out.
Oh, that's solid.
My videos only get 2 or 3 views, so not that many people have seen me, Bray. You don't have to watch.
Oh, I'm watching because this is this is an accomplishment.
With pressure.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I just feel like I'll just be a disappointment to everybody. But yeah.
I rolled my eyes at you.
You rolled your eyes at me?
Yeah. Saying you feel like you're a disappointment. I just felt like I needed to tell you in case you didn't see that I was rolling my eyes.
No, I didn't, because I'm sometimes I have trouble staying on the page, the Zoom room. Sometimes I can't find it because I'm doing other things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do this week.
Cool. Awesome. My thing was I don't know if it was sweep and mop or just sweep, but I did these things. I now have like a couple things that I've been doing every day. Except with mopping and sweeping, I've been doing that every day. With skating, I've been doing that every day except on the weekend. I can do it, but it's not like part of my routine. But now that's like normal. I like wake up, I've cooked every day. Yesterday I cooked lunch and dinner. I cooked breakfast today. I've been cooking like super regularly. When people ask to go out, I'm saying no and making something out of the food we have in the house. I like actually cook food without trying to now. It's like I find myself pulling things out of the fridge to cook them. It's like, well, what is this crap? It's crazy. It's awesome. So I think for me, let's see, what is something I can do that will push myself that I'm not going to do already? Because I want to be a person who skates every day, cleans every day, and cooks every day. But I'm confident that I'm becoming that person, and I don't need to push myself to do that because it's already happening. So what's something else I can add to that? Oh, there was something I thought of. So the Spanish content website is what is most kind of like worth my time, both from fulfillment purpose and potential to earn money. However, there is something I can do that can give me some more income more immediately, and that's to set up some kind of consulting campaign where I specifically talk about giving one free session, and then the following up ones cost more. My paid consulting has always been just something I talk about, not something that I actually try and push. So I could set up something where I do some kind of campaign, but at the same time, I could just work on the Spanish content website, and that's really what's better for me. That's what is like more fulfilling. I don't know. But maybe I'm being premature. Maybe I'm too confident that I'm going to do these things every day. So I should set my thing up as every day I need to skate, cook, and mop and sweep. That's going to be my thing. So every day I have to do these 3 things. And I feel like I'm going to, but I've just been doing most of them for a week or 2. So that isn't enough time to actually really have it in habit. And I probably just feel cocky because I've been doing good for 7 or 8 days. Or does anyone have any insight? Is there anything you guys think that might be more related to something? Any feedback?
You got held back. So
No, not over here.
Okay, so mine is skate, cook, and sweep and mop. Okay? You there, Noah?
Yeah, I'm still here.
All right, so this is the part where we figure out one specific task or one specific thing that we want to accomplish over the next week before we talk next time. And then if you join the next call, then we'll ask you how it went. So you need to know, oh, I'm saying this, and people are going to ask me. The idea is that you think about that, and it increases the chance that you actually do something. You want to be careful about what you pick. For example, like right now, I picked a task that's a little bit like not as pushy as I would like it to be because I'm probably going to do it already. Normally, you want to pick a task that will push you to do something you weren't necessarily going to do outside of having this conversation. So you want to identify an actionable that you can do that makes other work that you do easier or simpler. Maybe there's something that you've been putting off, that you're nervous about, that you're procrastinating about, and you know that it wouldn't take a whole lot of work and you should just do it. Sometimes it takes telling other people about this to actually get you to do it. So do you have anything that comes to mind?
Going to the gym. I've only been doing that like 3 or 2 days a week. I want to do that 6 days a week.
Okay. So you want to go to the gym 6 times.
Yeah. I guess the next one would be, let's see. Probably cleaning. Now that you mentioned it, now I'm thinking about everything that I need to clean.
From my perspective, I'm biased, but basically I'm going through a phase in my life where I completely stopped prioritizing work and I put cleaning and cooking in my environment before it, and I end up getting more work done. It's weird because I don't like thinking about work tends to make me procrastinate, whereas if I just wake up and clean and create a good environment, then I just work, and then I end up getting more done because I have better priorities and I feel better about myself. I spend less time worrying and it makes everything better. But for me, I had to put cleaning before my work. I had to literally tell myself, Jack, you think that working on this thing that's going to change your future is what you're going to do right now, but that is not your priority. Your priority is to maintain a positive environment and build momentum, and only once you have done your task for the day for that can you move on to progressing with work.
Are you living by yourself in Nicaragua?
No, I don't live by myself, but yeah, I do live in Nicaragua. I live with between 2 and 6 people, depending on what's going on. Big
So
building
what are
though,
you
so a lot of space.
responsible for, like your own room and the dishes and stuff like that, or what do you have to clean?
My own room, and then in Nicaragua there's a bunch of dust, so you have to like. It's also the dry season right now, so you have to sweep like every day. There's also a common space. I clean up like I take it upon myself to keep the common areas clean, irregardless to who's using them. Like I'll ask people to clean, but if somebody makes a mess, I view it as my responsibility to be able to maintain an environment and pick up a cup. That's like, if I can't pick up a cup and I'm going to bitch and moan about that, that shows that I'm having like mental issues. And that's kind of one of the reasons that maintaining the environment is so important, because in my case, I'm not the only person in the environment. So this means that I also need to maintain my relationships with other people. I need to make sure that I'm not lecturing them or anything or being like an unpleasant pressure to be cleaner than they are, because they're also part of my environment. And the whole reason that I care about my environment is to nurture positivity for myself and other people. So it's a whole complex game. But yeah, I live in a communal space.
I hear that. I had a roommate who didn't clean. It's the worst.
You only need like 60%, or actually maybe only like 40% of the people living in a space to be clean. Like if there's, actually no, it's got to be a majority, I guess. Because if there's 3 of you and 2 of you are really clean, it's probably all right. But if 2 of you are messy and only one's clean, it's probably not all right. I've never in my life been in a scenario where everyone cleans equally. I don't think that exists. I don't think it's possible.
I don't think that exists either. The one thing that the one thing that's like, what's the word? I don't know. The one thing that irks me, I guess, is that when someone doesn't wash their own dishes. It's the one thing I don't like.
Yeah. But
Like,
that's
if you're gonna cook or
inevitably
something,
gonna
you better
happen.
watch that.
Here, like so here we share. It's like a family. We usually eat together and share our food. So typically, like if someone cooks, other people ate, and so they would do the dishes in that case. Um, it makes it easier that way because when you live in a space where things aren't shared, it's easy to just be like, oh, it's messy because they're messy and it's their fault and I'm not going to fix it, even though I could in like 2 minutes. And that
It's dope.
grows a mentality that's not the healthiest. But people often have a fear of being taken for granted, yada, yada, yada. Like, I mean, I guess it's true people take you for granted for cleaning up after them, but from my opinion, I would just change who I live with. So I live with people who are good and not taking me for granted. I have the freedom to do that and have done that consistently throughout my life.
Right.
So,
How's your Spanish?
way better. And the whole website I'm making now is in Spanish.
Are you making it yourself or are you outsourcing some of it?
I'm making all of it myself. I'm using, like, I'm using friends to, like, read the concepts that I'm writing in Spanish and have them tell me what they're confused about. And so I'm changing the word choice to words that allow them to more easily understand the subject, especially people who don't have a whole lot of experience. I'm trying to really focus a lot on making sure that I teach these concepts in a way that, like, average non-techie people can understand, because that's going to be most of the clientele that ends up seeing my content. But it's also like, this is something that's really fulfilling for me. It's not like, oh, I'm trying to just make a product, outsource it, get it done as quick as possible, and then make money on it. That's really not, like, I have a specific understanding of what I'm trying to accomplish, and I believe that this is a meaningful way that I can convert my knowledge into a useful form for people living in Nicaragua. So
Do
I'm
you think that
excited.
you've achieved FIRE?
Fire. What's that?
Stands for Financial Independence, Retire Early. You know what that is?
It depends what you consider, because, like, I don't earn a whole lot of money. I earn
Well, that's the
less.
point. Like all of the work that you basically described is that you're doing it for self-fulfillment. Well, yes, you are getting compensated. You're not really doing it for the necessity to
Yeah.
maximize the amount of profit that you're
So
taking.
with the context of living in Nicaragua, yeah, I have that kind of life. There's nothing I have to do every day. Everything that I do is something that I choose to do. Like, I choose to have this call. I choose to have a Calendly link where people can set up calls with me and talk to me. Like, all these things are things that I want in my life and I've chosen to have in my life because I value them. And I don't spend my time doing things that I don't value. I'm definitely spoiled by that now. But I wouldn't say that I was living in the US, I wouldn't be able to do this. I would have to have a part-time job because I don't work enough to earn that much money. I like only working an hour or two a day. I like smoking a bunch of weed, playing video games, and hanging out with my friends all day because I had a traumatic childhood and my dad died and I didn't really have a chance to be a kid. And now I have time to just have a good life and be happy. And that's what I'm trying to work on because I've met a lot of people who have a lot of money, and I would think, based on everything I knew growing up, that they'd be happy, but they were miserable, even though they had the dream, they had the life. There were a couple periods in my life where I had conversations that really kind of shaped this person that I've become, where I'm not as focused on earning money because my like basic needs and stuff are met. But that being said, I still want to get involved in a project that has the potential to earn me the kind of money where I can start really like playing a major role in setting up projects like building skate parks, doing these next level kind of events. I don't have enough finances to do that kind of stuff. So there's like a deeper part of myself that that exists, but I'm not able to interact and experiment yet because I don't have enough money to fund those interesting experiments. So I want to get involved with that. But in my own personal life, like, I don't not do things because I don't have the money for it. I can go out and eat. But one of the reasons is because I changed where I live. So I live in a country where $500 a month is enough money to do what you want to do. But if I lived in the States, it wouldn't be possible. But at the same time, I probably would have pushed myself to work more to maintain my self-employment status if I was in the States because I would have had to. Like, it's not like I don't know the things, it's that I don't feel pressured and incentivized enough to work more on them. And that's one of the reasons I'm getting into the Spanish content website, because it's something I can continuously work on that is very scalable, because it's a monthly membership website with something that I feel strongly about, that I'm emotionally connected to, that I know I'm going to be able to continuously improve on for the years to come. So once that is all in order, I'm going to feel more able to say that I'm like retired and stuff. But I do live that kind of life. That's true.
I don't know. I guess that's all of my weekly goals. Just cleaning,
You
going
just
to the
need
gym.
one specific one. Which do you
One
think
specific
has a
one.
higher impact on you, cleaning or
Yeah,
going to the
then
gym?
that would be I need to ship out more stuff to the Amazon.
Okay.
Ship out more stuff to FBA.
Can you define that? Like, what do you mean by more stuff?
So recently more of it's been drop shipping, but as I am trying to scale, I'm trying to I'm buying more stuff in bulk and I'm sending it more to Amazon FBA. I've been using their fulfillment networks
Okay.
recently more and more. So obviously that takes time because you have to get I don't have Amazon prep it. So instead of having them do it or my supplier, I have it shipped to my warehouse / garage. And then I have to package.
Use a fulfillment service or something?
Do it. What?
Use a prep center?
I was, but a lot of the products, Amazon changed their way that they want it like prepped. So now you have to use a poly bag and all this other stuff. So
Gotcha. So
it's
you
more
receive
cost-effective
it
for me
and
to
then
do.
you repackage it and then send it out.
Yeah,
Okay.
a lot of my suppliers, they'll package it inside the retail box anyways. So all I have to do is like I get it in a big box. I just have to label each individual unit and then ship it out to Amazon. But that takes like we're talking about like 5-6 boxes a week with like 200 plus units.
Okay.
So it gets pretty time consuming. But yeah, I'd say that's pretty much my goal.
So when you say more stuff to Amazon, it needs to be a specific thing, because more is general. That you could do something and it's less. It's not
I
considered
guess
more.
I
You
want
know
to be
what I mean?
shipping out at least 3 shipments a week.
Okay, so by the next time you talk, you want to have shipped out 3 shipments to Amazon.
Yeah.
Awesome. Cool. 3 Amazon shipments. Awesome. All right, so we now have all of our tasks. Now we got to pick what course we're going to take for this week. Does anyone have any recommendations on the subject?
No, I'm looking at the courses right now.
I want to learn about animation, but that's probably just me. We should pick something that's relevant to most of us. It may be hard to find something that all of us want, but as long as more of us want it than don't, it's viable. And usually around an hour. I personally don't want to. I feel like it's hard enough to do a course that's an hour with regularity every single week. And we shouldn't be throwing like 4-hour courses into the mix, because then there's no way we're all going to do it.
I actually have to go.
Okay,
I'm
now.
gonna hop off the call. It was really nice meeting you, Braylon, and also Rita.
Thank you, sir. Nice meeting you. Hope to see you next week, man.
I don't know, I jumped in these calls a few times. I just never actually hopped on the live, which is always watching it.
Awesome.
I'm glad you came in and spoke with us. That was great. Hope you
Rita,
come
what's
back.
your channel?
My channel, oh gosh, but nobody's supposed to know about it. I'm kidding. It's Dog Sitter Life.
All right, and what's Braylon? You also have one?
Yeah, it's the way to find it is just the average guy's day trading.
All right, I'm gonna subscribe to both of you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Appreciate
Got
that.
you too.
Thanks for joining, man. We'll see you next week.
All right, take care.
Ciao.
All right, so weekly courses. Holy crap.
How do you find the ones that are, what did you call them, Jack?
Skillshare Originals.
Huh?
Skillshare Originals.
Originals. How do you know if a course is original or not?
It has like a little logo on it. And I always just go to Skillshare and then I just type in Skillshare Originals, and then everything that comes up is a Skillshare Original course. Do you guys want, I can just throw a couple names and then we see if we're interested in anything. Anyone got any?
I think I see one. Presentation essentials. How to share ideas that inspire action.
Okay, cool. Yeah, this was a pretty inspiring course. I actually took this. This was one of the first Skillshare courses that I took. And I think if I remember right, it makes you make a video, a 1-minute video.
I'm often asked, how do you become
I think.
Oh.
Projects and resources.
And the course is only 33 minutes for the win.
I wasn't gonna mention that. Someone else said.
All right, cool. You picked it. Oh my god, I gotta pee so bad. Here's this week's course to be done by. For some reason, every time I've typed course for the past month, I type COA, like course, and then I correct it. And I have no idea why. Why did I start spelling this fundamental word to my life wrong consistently a month ago, and why am I still doing it? No idea.
No, I do the same thing. It's all of a sudden I don't know how to spell. I don't understand it. Is the internet making us stupid?
Maybe.
I'm afraid it might be.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, what are memories? They're just energy pretty much bouncing around in our brain. So at any point in time, that energy
Constantly
could
changing.
Yeah, it could be just unaccessible at the moment.
Okay. I decided to start drinking green tea just in case.
There we go.
All right,
Even though
guys.
I hate it, but I'm just gonna.
I gotta head
Okay.
out. I gotta pee really, really badly. And I got
okay.
everyone's things. We have our course. I think we're all good, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'm gonna connect with Bray later with some more questions for day trading.
Ah, that's
Yes.
right. All right, guys. See you next time.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Bye.
Yeah.
Oh my god.